So, welcome to the studio. This is my room where I do all my production and mixing work. And I want to tell you about my studio monitors, which are the PMC 6s. I want to tell you about why I chose these monitors and what I like about them. Maybe some small things I don't like about them, even though I can already tell you there's very little things I don't like about these monitors. And let's get started with the video. So, here it is, the speaker. PMC uses an advanced transmission line system, which basically is like a maze that runs through the cabinet of the speaker, and it's calculated in a way that it extends the low end of the speaker quite a lot, and I think that works really well. These really go down quite a bit, I think until 39 hertz, which is pretty low for a speaker this size. And in my experience, it's plenty low to mix on. Yeah, they sound really, really good. On the back, I connected them through AES with my Metric Halo interface, which works great. I do recommend, if you buy these speakers, to hook them up digitally. I did use them for a while just as analog speakers, but they do have an extra conversion step in them. And I just wanted to avoid the extra step, even though they're really good converters and you probably won't hear much of a difference. I did hear a little bit of a difference when I hooked them up digitally. It's just a little bit cleaner signal path, and they sound really amazing. They sound super clear this way, and I have them hooked up through my Metric Halo Leo 8 interface, and they just work perfectly together. The Metric Halo has a really nice monitor controller function, and you can just control them digitally. The volume control works really well. I've worked on them almost every day for 4 years now, doing production, mixing, and mastering. And yeah, they shine on all those things, honestly, especially since I calibrated them to this room, which is something great about these speakers. What you can use, you can, of course, measure your room. And what I did is I used Room EQ Wizard and calculated where are some spots that the speakers could do better in working with my room. And I just calibrated them. I took a couple EQ points and mostly dipped some places. It's not really advised to boost too much in these speakers or in speakers in general if you're calibrating them, because you can overcompensate a bit too much, and especially if you have a null in your room, you don't want to just blast more energy into that. It's not really going to work. You should really address it first in your room acoustics, but this room is already well treated. So when I did the calibration, they just went from amazing to even more amazing when I did that. So since then, I've just found mixing very easy. I can say these speakers are extremely good at giving you perspective and telling you where things should be, where things should sit. The stereo image is very, very good. You can really hear where everything is. Now, there are a couple things where I think PMC could have done a better job, but it doesn't really have to do with the speaker design itself. I think when it comes to the speaker calibration, I had to do a lot of work to find out how to do this. And it is definitely possible, but PMC doesn't really help you with that. It's really something you have to figure out on your own. And I thought it's okay, but there are systems that offer a lot more assistance, like Genelec do with their speakers, like Neumann do with their speakers. They also have possibilities of calibration, but they also make sure that if you want the ease of use, you can buy their calibration mic, and there's a software there that will do everything to optimize it to your room. so you don't have to do it all yourself. I think PMC are missing out on that because they don't offer something like that. Another thing I would like to see from speaker manufacturers is the integration of like digital volume control, because I see more and more speakers go this route, making like a Class D amplification, and this speaker is proof of that this works great. But they don't offer you solution when it comes to monitor control. I did a lot of research on this and found out that an interface like the Metric Halo would be best for me, and I got one and I'm really happy with it. I use it as a monitor controller. It's very easy. You can also actually use a plugin as a monitor controller. There are a couple out there, but I didn't want to go that route. I think it's not so reliable. So I'm glad I do have it in the hardware right now and also on my screen. So that's a great option. But some speaker manufacturers, they do offer a little box with a volume knob, and I think that would be a great accessory to this. So I would definitely want one if PMC would make one of those. So yeah, those are basically the things I think they could have done better. Or they could still add to it. I'm also very curious because there's an expansion slot on the back of these for future expansion, but I haven't read or heard anything about what this will entail or what they're going to do with that. So I'm really curious if they're still going to make use of this. One thing I would like to try in the future is maybe placing the PMC 8 sub under both these speakers to make it a three-way system. I know they have that option, and I think that's really cool. But for the rest, I really love them, and they will stay in this room for a very long time. So that was my video about the PMC 6s. Let me know in the comments what type of video you want to see next, or which gear you want to hear me talk about. And if you need any mixing or mastering services, check my link down below and check the link to the studio as well. And see you next time. Bye bye.